The Renovate Europe campaign is a political communications campaign, and its headline ambition is to reduce the energy demand of the existing building stock in the EU by 80% by 2050 as compared to 2005. And this demand, or this ambition, is an achievable ambition. Why? Because we have the technology, we understand the processes, we just need to have the political will to roll it out. The campaign was initiated by EuroACE, the European Alliance of Companies for Energy Efficiency in Buildings, which brings together the leading companies in Europe working to produce the products, the equipment, the controls, and to provide the services that go into the energy performance of buildings. In fact, EuroACE seeks integrated answers to energy performance. We don't look for single solutions, we look for the right solution for each project or for each program. We, being insiders as it were, and understanding the dynamics and the difficulties faced by public authorities, we had become aware that the European Commission had made some significant efforts in its own work on its existing buildings. We had the feeling that experts, even insiders, were not aware of this. So because here we saw a win-win. One, the Renovate Europe campaign can have a display poster showing how energy performance can be significantly improved. Two, the wide world can learn of the good work of the European Commission. So we saw a win for public exposure, more communications on certificates. The Commission saw a win because their little known work on improving their building stock would then be in the public eye. So for these reasons we teamed up this year in order to have something that will open the eyes of all those 3,500 people who've come for Sustainable Energy Week. When the Energy Performance of Buildings Directive was first written in 2002, the Energy Performance Certificate was seen as a market tool that could drive demand. And the idea here is that it will drive demand by giving information to the consumer so that up front they're aware of what they're going to receive when they buy a property or they rent a property. It is a tool that unfortunately the member states have been rather slow to roll out, but now in recent years, and particularly since the recast of that directive, we see that the Energy Performance Certificate is becoming recognised in the market. The general public, Tom, Dick and Harriet, now see it on every advertised property in their local estate agent's office. So we feel, and there's a review of that directive coming up, but we feel in EuroACE that this is a tool that's still underutilised. It is not adequately, the methodology for producing is not adequately harmonised across Europe, and we see an opportunity today, because of the review of the directive, to put a focus back on this market tool in order to drive more renovation downstream. The EPCs have a great role to play. In the same way, people will react better to the energy labels on fridges and freezers or the CO2 emissions on cars. Nowadays, people are very used to looking at that and taking the performance into account in their purchasing decisions. This label or this certificate can do the same for buildings. But what we need to do is build trust in what the label says, make sure it's easy to understand by everybody who sees them, and be sure that recommendations for further improvements in energy performance are actually carried out during the life of the building.